terms of shooting the basketball, he can bring them right back into this game. They're doing work here in the second half, 3 or 4 to start.
Everyone knows about the Paul George injury from last year and how it affected the Pacers. He said almost the entire season, and there was no doubt they missed him.
Yeah, and when George came back, Kevin, the Pacers got hot, but they had to put him on a minutes limit. And it wasn't just George, though. The team as a whole had a lot of injuries during the course of the season.
Timeout call for Pacers.
And, you know, as you said, the Pacers did have problems with injuries. The team roster missed 219 games due to injury. So compare that to the 69 games missed by the Pacers in 2014. Big difference.
And here's George for 3. Through the net again. He's done that 10 times tonight, and he's only needed 11 shots to get there. Dragic kicks to Bosh. Can't hit, and Indiana will come the other way. The drive by Ellis. Again, Indiana.
He's a big reason why they have the lead right now. He's made all of his field goal attempts thus far and remains hot from the floor.
And really, guys, the most telling part of the Pacers' injury troubles was this. Had to use 15 different starting lineups over the course of the season. Just hard to stay consistent and competitive when you are always replacing an injured player in the lineup.
And that is good. That's 29 points for Paul George.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Outside Dragic. The floater. Here's Whiteside. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Whiteside's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
George double teamed. Outside Turner. Outside George. 5 to shoot. Miles, that's good.
And they clearly are just destroying this group right now from the three-point line.
Yeah, and the defense knows it. I mean, they are fully stretched out trying to stop the three-point shot and still haven't been able to do it.
Bosh, a screen on George. Dang goes in. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Dang's got 8 points.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
It's Ellis on the wing. Wade is covering. Ellis, that's good.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
And, guys, now that they're rolling from out there, the defense has to really get up into them. You've got to almost be in their jerseys to try to deny those looks.
Whiteside sets the pick for Dragic. Off the screen. And the jam by Whiteside.
That's what I like, a nice, strong finish inside.
That's what he does. He's got that dunker mentality.
My goodness, physicality personified right there. Able to just go up and finish over the biggest defenders.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Hill dishes to George. How's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
He just picked up his 4th personal foul, and now he's got some foul trouble hanging over his head, guys.
That's his 4th personal foul. 2nd team foul. Substitution on the court.
Lawson's against Dragic. The pass to Stoudemire. And oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
Nice shot there without a second to spare.
You know, as a defending team in that situation, it really irked them.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the 4th. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. Hill is out there with Lavoy Allen. Then it's Lawson. Then there's Rodney Stuckey. And it's Hill in at the center position. The feed to Richardson. Nick Roberts, the pass to Johnson.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the official. Hey.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Pacers.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
Mahimi's checked in for Hill. And both free throws good for Johnson. Well, Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year. And as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
That's good.
With the success they've been having from the three-point line since halftime, I'll bet you that scoreboard starts to look a lot different real soon.
Partner, that's assuming they can continue that hot shooting. But if they do, and especially if they can get a few stops, you have to think they'll make this thing interesting.
5 on the clock. Allen inside the three-point line. There's the foul. It's on Mahinmi. That is his first foul of the game. A different look for Miami. Whiteside comes in for Amari Stoudemire. And Dwayne Wade subbed in for Johnson. Here's Wade. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help his team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this one.
For 3, Lawson. And again, it's the Pacers from deep.
And really, how about the quick release on that triple there, because he's given up a lot of height in that matchup.
Right on target you are, Greg. I mean, the quick release is what made the difference there. Any hesitation, and that shot is being blocked.
Here's Winslow. Offensive rebound. Here's Whiteside, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
Boy, last season, Hassan Whiteside made a huge splash in the NBA. Big blocks, big rebound total. But he had some head-scratching moments as well. Missed his share of action due to suspensions.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. And GA, as you said with Whiteside, his fiery attitude flared up a few times last season, and it hurt his team more than once in Miami.
No doubt, and it's something that he has got to work on. I mean, he's proven that he can be a big-time player in this league, but he can't have the mental lapses that get him tossed from games and hurt his team.
Chris Bosh is checked in for the Heat. Dang comes in for Winslow. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Turner's checked in for Allen. Paul George comes in for Hill. Ellis is checked in for Rodney Stuckey. And George Hills subbed in for Ty Lawson. Here's George. Boom, he jams it straight down.
I'm not sure how I like this one. He used the rim to get some true hang time there.
Now, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff.
Okay,
guys, that was just
I'll buy that for now.
a good old-fashioned chin check right there.
Wade. Second shot opportunity. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. It's going to be on Miles Turner.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Udonis Haslem. He's checked in for Bosh. And it's Green in for Dwayne Wade. Haslem a screen. Back to Richardson. Here's Whiteside. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
Green against Ellis. Whiteside a screen. Back to Green. 17-foot shot on the way. And the Heat get another bucket right there. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. George, that's a two-pointer, and the Pacers tack on 2 more.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
Ellis against Green, and the foul on Monte Ellis. That will be foul number 5 on him. And some changes here for the Heat. Stoudemire's checked in for Whiteside. Josh McRoberts comes in for Udonis Haslem. And it's Johnson in for Luol Deng. Then for the Pacers, Hill, he's checked in for Paul George. Stuckey comes in for Monte Ellis. And it's Lawson in for Young. Lawson kicks to Turner.
Inside 2 minutes.
And Hill has it in the corner. And the Pacers another 3.
Don't underestimate him. He can knock that down.
The Heat have gone 7 of 11 from the floor in the final quarter so far. Been some solid looks for them.
Kevin, I tell you what, when he gets to the rim like that, he's really hard to stop.
Yeah, he can get up a few notches higher. There's no doubt.
And that's how the game is played on the inside. You can play over the top. You've got a great advantage.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
Tyler Johnson, he's checked in for Green. Mahimi's checked in for the Pacers. Allen comes in for C.J. Miles. Heat on D. Allen dishes to Mahinmi, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That one is on Stoudemire.
And the Pacers just missed out on the playoffs last year and would have to settle for 9th in the East. Hard for a team that has been so dominant in the East over recent seasons.
And for the Pacers against the East, they actually played the rest of the conference. Greg, very well, ended with a 28-24 record, Clark, against the East.
The only team, Kevin, in the East with a winning record against the rest of the conference not to make the playoffs. Only went 10-19 against the playoff teams in the conference.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
And look, Joe Johnson last season, not his best statistically, but boy, did he show some heart. I mean, he was one of the catalysts for Brooklyn making the playoffs, especially when Brook Lopez returned healthy and the two could play off of one another.
Talking about Joe Johnson, I'm not going to lie. Last year wasn't one of his best statistically, Clark. His shooting accuracy was on the low end. His turnover numbers were high. It wasn't very pretty.
But for Joe, Kevin, I don't think it was about the numbers last year. It was about wanting to compete and to win. And he's developed a champion's will over the years. And I would like to see him finally achieve his goal of maybe winning the championship. I think he deserves it. He's been consistent. He's been solid. And now you see some maturation with him as well.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Pacers.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for George. Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
Indiana controlling the game. They set the screen. 4 on the shot clock. Mahinmi passes to Hill. Takes a 3. And Indiana, another 3.
Well, if it wasn't out of reach, it is now, thanks to that last little spurt.
And why put the brakes on now? I just say keep on letting it fly.
Stoudemire with a screen on George. Johnson kicks to Stoudemire. And he can't stop the run as he misses.